Here we go again, looking through the Doug's Dirt Diary archives here, going back to 2008 here. And this is the Cayuga County Fair Speedway. Obviously looking a little bit different than it does today. This is the old tower here. And any of you guys who spent time in that tower, of course, I was in the booth there from working from 1995 till 2005 when Glenn got out. And of course, before it became Weed Sports Speedway, I also did some work in between, did some stuff when Eric Kingsley was the promoter there as well. But when people used to come up the stairs were right over there. Okay, that's where the stairs were. And when people would come up the stairs, the whole thing would shake, especially if you were out on the ledge there to the left of that. And then when I became a press guy and worked for the paper and Syracuse.com, that was where I liked to be, right there, because the booths were usually full. And in the booth, this is not like Oswego Speedway with the glass in between, which is still the best way to do booth. And you got to get right up on the window. So I like being out there. I like smelling the smells. And as a guy who spent all his time in the tower, it was nice to actually smell all the smells, and realize, ooh, that's power steering fluid. Ooh, that's oil. Oh, that's antifreeze, so that way you actually know what the smoke is from. That white van, that's Dave Dixon right there. So practice, like we said, here on April 9th, and a lot of folks in here that you are going to recognize. Billy Clark, of course, was there with his Sportsman, and he got out just a few years ago, as a matter of fact. So, and I know this face. Oh, I know who it is. It's Greg Hickson. Greg Hickson, now race director out at Canandaigua. So Greg's lost a few pounds over the years. Good for you, man. So, of course, his son is the flagger out there. Nate Peckham, of course, still racing. For a while, was doing stock cars both on asphalt and dirt. But this was when Nate was running Sportsman back in 2008. Dave Marchicelli, still out with his twin brother, of course. Now he's been running modified. Was running big block for a while. Moved back to small block this past season. I think this was early in Dave's career. For a Sportsman, I believe he was at this time. This is another one, man. I know this guy. A nice guy, super nice guy. I don't remember his name. If you guys do, please, put something in the comments or leave me something on Facebook. And hey, how we doing? Way it used to be, going on the track down in turn number 1, back when you could rip the lip at Weed Sports Speedway and just keep it right along the outside. Chad Homan was running modifieds back then. Of course, he's been running late models the past few years and doing pretty well, actually. So Mike Vaughn and his dad here, they were running stock cars. Mike actually, I believe, is working for Velocita now, so he's back in the game. And there he is inside the car. There's your fuel shut off, nice and recognizable right there. And you can tell it's on because it's that way. You want to block it. It's the same thing on your stuff at your house. You turn it the other way, so that allows it to flow. No, that's not Tim McCready, as you're going to find out here in a second. That's why they've got the X on the car right there. This is Vic Coffey, getting some hot lap sessions at this point. Not sure if he was running World of Outlaw late models at the time or not. But he was out there getting some practice laps here today. So here they are, getting ready to head out on the racetrack for a nice day of practice out at Weed Sports Speedway. And there's a look down the front stretch. Of course, the stage, of course, right there in the infield. Imagine all the acts and bands and things like that were on that stage. And, of course, when the Enduros ran, they would park down in the infield when that stage was there. So Wall, I think, is about maybe the only thing they kept when they put the place like it was now in Weed Sports Speedway. Charging Charlie Donk, charging on the inside there. And notice that left front's not lifting up nearly as much as they do today. And I wonder if that's John Maloling in the infield. Might a little bit early for John there. Caitlin Kane, of course, running the family car there. The Ernie Kreis and Sons car. And here we go. Kevin Ridley was working for Tony Stewart and that series. I'm not sure if he's going to do that or not anymore. I'm not sure what that is, but he came to Canandaigua last year and just spanked him. So very smart man. Young Matt Shepard here, getting ready to head out. And again, this was almost 14 years ago now. So there is Tim Courier in the number 10 down there on the inside. Jeff Brownells, number 29. Chris Fisher over here, by the way, and there's Charlie Donk up there. Derek Pozziadlo. No, wait, that's Holman, excuse me, and there's Charlie Donk over there. And there's Charlie and his crew as he's getting in. Remember pizza logs? You can still get those in the stores. Wegmans has those nowadays. They sponsored not just Charlie, but a whole bunch of folks out there. Bob, we miss you, and hope you're making something fun up there in heaven that everybody's eating up there. But he helped me out too. So we get them every now and then at Wegmans, and boy, I'll tell you, they just bring back memories. Frankie Caprera here, and he had 2 cars on this occasion, so maybe a small block and a big block perhaps is what he had. There's the Podciadlo number 21. They're still running, Canandaigua and Black Rock. Justin Hares, of course, on the left, Vic Coffey on the right. And there's a look inside. This is Frankie Caprera's car. They had a Bedell racing engine, and you can tell by the valve covers and the heads, that's a big block. Here's the Heil boys, Chris and Rob. This is, man, they look so young there, don't they? This might have been one of their first seasons, and I know Eric Kingsley had a lot to do with getting them going. Robbie Shuttleworth, man, how old does he look here? And he was running a sprint car. Charlie giving us a nice smile here. And I believe that's Mr. Turner up there. I'm not sure, but it might be. So there's our logo. I still have some of these stickers, so if you want one, message me. As long as you give me a few bucks for them, I'll be happy to send one to you. So, and that was before we changed it. See how the right front's coming up? We changed that in some of the later ones there. Frankie on the left, Frankie Caprera, and of course Justin Hares chatting with one of the officials. Couldn't have been too serious a conversation because it was just practice. So Brian Howland got back in a little bit this past year. Vic Coffey out there turning some laps. Mike Mahaney, I think he was in his teens in 2008. So Mandy, if you're looking at this is your husband. Long time ago when he just got going. Paul Guerreri there in the center. Not sure who the other driver is, but that's Paul right there. They got matching suits, almost anyway. Earl Rudy. Of course, Rudy Plumbing, his business here in Central New York, 315-638-RUDY. Whatever you need, and they will take good care of you. They're pretty much right out here in Clay, so draw a big circle around that area, and he's the guy you want to call if you got anything around that area. Is this Andrew Smith? I'm not sure. I remember the car. I'm just not sure about the first name, on that. So, and here's a young Dan Kapuscinski here, very early in his career. See all the body supports there. So, and there's Brian Howland having some fun. Eric Fisher right here, and of course there's Jeff Brownell getting ready to go. AJ Kingsley was out having some fun. Look up in the tower. There's Dave Farney, and of course Gary Spade up in the tower. Dave was not on the flag stand that day, and you'll see why here in just a second as we look at that flat, smooth racetrack out in Weedsport. As there's why. I hurt his shoulder, so he was not there that night, but running as basically race director for this event here anyway. So there's Todd Town. I happened to see him this past summer. He's doing well. And Paul Habeck. We miss you, Paul. Built a lot of pools for a lot of people. So, and there's me trying to get artistic again. But I hope you like these bins. Make sure to subscribe. Turn on your notifications, all that cool stuff. Again, I appreciate all of you who come to the YouTube channel, and I appreciate all of you drivers and all the racetracks, the promoters, the fans, everybody, for trusting me. I've been fortunate. This will be my 35th year coming up this year in racing. Of course, we started on the outlaw circuit, and I've been very fortunate that I've been around the right people along the way. Tried to always leave a bridge whenever I leave someplace. Every form of racing, no matter what, the drivers are amazing. The risks they take, the risks the promoters take. It's a funny sport, and to me, it is the ultimate sport. It takes so much hard work. You can't practice. It takes an incredible amount of money and dedication. So my hat is off to all of you who do this, and I thank you all for allowing me, to be a little part of this and to shine the light on the people who do what I believe is the toughest sport out there. So again, appreciate everything, guys. Leave a comment, turn on the notifications, subscribe. If you want to help, there's a super thanks button. Of course, we're on PayPal, paypal.me/Doug Elkins Racing if you want to help. But again, I thank you all, and I hope you really enjoy this stuff we're putting up, and we're going to have more up here very soon.